Hello again, everyone. Deflect here, Firm and Fair Gaming. Want to bring you another video of what I deem are the best sites to use for World of Warcraft. These are going to be the ones that give you the top knowledge. These are the ones that are going to be benefit your character. What do you look at? What can you use? What can they do? And I'm going to start with the easiest one first. Everybody knows it. Everybody's seen it. Raider.io. And if you see my other videos, you can use this for a plethora of different things. You can use this to find guild drafters. You can use this to put up recruitment posts. You can use this to see what Mythic Plus keys are being run, what the top specs are. It just does a lot of things. So if you're looking, you can always just click on the raid. You can see where everyone is on the raid, who finished first, all this. You can go in. You can sort this if you want to, if you're looking to join a raiding guild. See who's in the mythic rating. You can search it by Americas if you want. You can find a realm if you need. So say you're on Area 52. You want to find a US one. You're looking for a guild. You want to get into mythic rating. Odds are you're going to have to be really good to get into the top ones. But say you're looking for one that's progressing. Maybe you're looking for a raid guild that's done boss number 5. Maybe you're looking for one that's killed 6. Maybe you're looking for an early one that's killed maybe 2 or 3. There's a lot of different guilds that have done some mythic rating in Area 52. You can go through here. You can click. Here's scripted. Open it up. You can see what they require. Takes you to their main page. If you're only an M Plus player looking for a guild with active M Plus community, you're welcome to join us. You can see how active they are in M Plus by clicking on the M Plus section, and you can see where they're at for that. It looks to be a rather small guild based upon their Mythic Plus action. The first page are, they have people on here that only have 1,000 IO. Looks to be a very small guild, but they are a rating guild. So you can always click on roster. You can see how they've done it. You can sort by raid progression to see who's 4 of 9 mythic, and you can see they have 3 players 4 of 9 mythic. So if that's an option, you're looking to join a smaller guild, there you go. There's a small guild you could join. This site comes with a lot of things. I'm not going to go in depth to all of it. I can get into routes. If you go to news, you can go with the weekly route. You can see what's the best for this week's affixes, and it will go down. You can import these into MDT or Keystone Guru and use that as well. So a lot of different things you can do with Raider.io. It's probably the best site. You can get in and see the gear people are using because some people use different gear than what's recommended. I'll use this for an example. So the top Blood DK last season was Crassus. He's very good. Smilex is always up there too, or Smiling X. I forget what it is. But Crassus builds his differently than most. And it's something I found when I was making my DK that I liked. He goes for a lot of verse mastery, heavy into verse mastery, which was great. That's what it worked for me when I blood DK. It just did a little more survivability. You do a little less damage, but you have a ton of survivability. So he went way off the Wowhead post. The Wowhead post was something totally different. I think it was haste or crit something. It might have been hate. I forget. I forget because it was last season. I checked. But anyway, it was way different than the post. But you can see that's not everyone does that. And you can check out Smiling X. You can see he's a little more focused on different stats. And if you go in here, you can actually go to the armory profile. And you can see what stats they are running. 95% mastery, 17 verse, 22 haste, 22 crit. So verse is his lowest one. And if you hover over it, it'll tell you how many points you put in. So that's another thing you can do with Raider.io. See what gear people are running. Go to their armory. You can check out their logs if they have Warcraft logs, which is a great segment into the next website, which is Warcraft logs. And you can click on the logs, go to the season, and see if they have any logs. You can see that he has logged a 28 fortified, and you can see what the affixes are. You can see the date it was logged. You can see who it was killed with. You can actually open the log and see what they did. So you can go to the damage section. You can see they're all in the the lowest one is 84. The rest are 90s. So this is a very, very good key Did it in 22 minutes on a dark heart. You can see that he did 76 for healing at 249. And these are logs. So this is actual dungeon time. This is different than details because details is only in combat time. So your details will always read higher than what your logs are, depending on your runbacks. So that is Warcraft logs. You can search. You can go into this has a ton of information as well. You can go to statistics. You can search by percentile. You can see what people are doing on which boss. 80th percentile. Sub Rogue is number 1 in all of the raid. You can change if you just want a specific boss. You can change if you want DPS. You can change the level for Mythic. If you want all classes, just DPS. Item level changes. It's very, very in depth as what you can do with Warcraft logs. I'm not going to get into the full thing here. Check it out if you want to see, or if you haven't used it. Warcraft logs is very great. You can look through your stuff and see how you're doing if you upload your own logs. Very good website as well. I'm not going to tie up all the time in between these two because Raider.io and Warcraft logs are two of the best sites. The next one coming up on my list I use a lot is Blood Mallet. Now, what Blood Mallet is, it's only for tanks and DPS. You cannot click on a healer. It will not do it. You can go in and see what you could be using for trinkets. This is a heavy trinket one. You can use potions and races and all that stuff. I use it for trinkets to see what they're doing. And this will give you not only at which item level, it will also tell you the percentage it will do damage per second. So at 49, 10.6% of damage can be your Wither Branch. If you go down the list, it will show you all different variations. The Dark Moon Deck Box Dance, Ember Scale, 8.59 at 46. And you can see some overtake some other ones. So you can see the Cold Serpent Idol is actually way down here at 476 item level, whereas 476 the dance box will actually be better, and then it doesn't pass the dance box until it gets to 49. So if you have a Cold Serpent but it's only let's use 480, so it's 480, the dance box will actually be better if you made it at 486. So, or 480, it will be better as well. 43 and 480. So it just, you can go down and see the color and the variations and see where everything sits. So that's another option of a great site if you're looking for trinkets. Again, you can use this. You can go to races. It will do populate everything for this as well. But I don't find this as good as some of the other stuff. You can see that the races are all negligible. It's all, you're talking minor difference. Valpyra seems to be the lowest and Void Elf being the highest. And you can change the target, so you can go 3 target, you can do 5 target, and you can do that with the trinkets as well. So that is the difference you can use with Blood Mallets, mainly to increase your DPS, mainly to see what's best in slot. I use it a lot on Vault Day, just so you can see what you're getting on Vault. Another site I use is u.gg. Great site. This will do a lot of the same. Gives you a lot of ranking information. You can sort by popularity. You can sort by DPS. You can sort by Mythic Plus, Rating, PvP, all that fun stuff. But it gives you more information if you go into a class. So let's use Mistweaver Monk. And this is another one that's based upon the input. So this is based upon the popularity of things. So popularity is 6.2. This is a popular build S tier that they're using for Mythic Plus. You can switch that from Mythic Plus to Rating, and you can see this is the popular Rating build. You can see the HPS here is 166. 28.8% talent popularity is what this is used. You can scroll down and go to different ones, and usually populate some other ones if there's some other builds out there. Actually, I guess you just go to View More, and you can see the difference. View More, 232k HPS. You can get 291 if you're looking at this talent build variation. 312 with this talent build. Not popular, only 9.9% popularity. 2.97, 5.3. And some of these might just change one item, and that will make it a different build. What the one talent is depends on the build. But that is a variation. So you have to be very careful looking at these to see which ones they swapped in and swapped out. But you can see if you're just going for a max HPS one, the max is 332, 4.4%. You can view the talent tree if you like, see what the variation is. And right at the start, this one uses Unison. Um, that's what I can pick out off the other one, but they're all a variation of. So, well, actually, this one had Unison. So you'd have to go through and actually compare them talent to talent to see. And other than going through individually, I would have to check. But that is how you use u.gg. You can check out trinkets, popularity in trinkets, rating. They're all using seedling and blood, or for 44.67%, or seedling and blossom for 22. Seedling and pips is 12, and then the rest is below. You switch it to Mythic Plus, and again, you can go through all that. As this video is carrying on, I'll try and get through the next ones quick. Another one that does the close to the same thing is Murloc, Murloc.io. It gives a couple different things if you're looking into, we'll go back to Monk, Mistweaver, but you're getting into stat priority. You can see it all here. It lays it out for you. It takes the top 50 players in each thing. So you can go to solo queue, top 50 players, and it will give you all this information here. Go to M+. It doesn't have a raid section, so keep that in mind. We can go to stat priority for M+. Top 50 players are using Verse over Haste, Crit Mastery, Avoidance, Leech Speed. You can actually get into the races, what everyone's using, and then the talents, the talent build. And the orange just means it's picked the most frequently. Purple's next, and then, yellow is given. And you can check out the equipment, the embellishments they use, the enhancements, all the information you need will be here as well. Going through it, as long as it's not for raid. Now, the other thing you can do with your characters is sim them. So if you know quick raid bots, you do quick sims. You can sim your characters. You can go through and pick up anything you want. You can go to KT. I'll think we'll go with my DK there. Dark Iron Dwarf, Blood DK. You can run through a quick sim. You can go to gear compare, check out gear. You can check your top gear, see what you have in there. And this goes along with Simulation C, which is an add-on to get in-game. So you can copy and then you would paste your information up here. And it's Simulation Craft, I guess is the proper name for it. And you would go through and fill in the information. Whether you want to use any charges, whether your minimum set requirement would be 4 set, and then you can select what gear you want to compare. If you want to compare shoulders, you want to compare the bracers, you want to compare different rings. So I have a couple different rings. You can do that. And trinkets, if you want to compare trinkets, go through. If it gets too many, you won't be able to. But that is the information you can go through and sim with this one. This sims for damage only. This is not sim for survivability. This is not sim for utility. This is not sim for healing. This sims for damage only, which will find your top damage information. This is actually set to my Brewmaster Monk. So actually I was on Mistweaver when I did the last sim. So Mistweaver Monk. But it will go through and you will get out the damage. On the other side of it, questionably Epic is the only one I've seen so far that you can sim for HPS, so healing. You go to questionably Epic, you have to input your information before you can get in here. So again, I will use my Mistweaver Monk. You can find your top gear based on my Mistweaver Monk, import the gear, use the last information I had, and you can go through and do the exact same thing, clicking on what you would like to sim. And you pick a couple items, you say, hey, maybe my ring's better, maybe my trinket's better, this, that, go to sim, and it will do the exact same thing, except it does a lot quicker. There's not real wait times on this. But you can see I'm using top gear, but these ring combinations is very close. It's only 18 HPS difference, which my HPS is based upon. Usually it tells you at the bottom, intellect, there's bonus HP, but usually they tell you what your max HP is. Anyways, it's all in there. You can check it out. It tells you recommended vial is versatility. Your top alternative very close in value. You could be safely wearing either without a noticeable impact on performance. Nice to say. And you can see I have 15,000 intellect, 29 haste, mastery, all the percentage there. So this is a very good site to use. Like, oh, that's on raid 2. You can also switch it to dungeon as well. But that is another site that you can sim, which is great. It's great to have multiple sites because you can sim your damage and then you can sim your healing to see if it's a loss either way. And you can see in dungeon, the combination is actually worse. In dungeon, it's a 384 point sim difference. And my top one would just be throwing on a different back piece, which would only be 72 HPS different. So, variations a little bit there. Your vault device tier piece can be a very good choice early on. Effective items like pips. Consider items which you might upgrade. All that fun stuff on this site. So 2 sites, one sims DPS, one sims HPS, and you can see if I threw that ring on, it would be a massive DPS increase, which is 3,198 DPS increase. This is actually, I think, old gear that I'm wearing, to be honest, because I have 49 chest and legs and all that fun stuff. But I didn't import the sim, but it is a 3,000 DPS increase. If I increase that, and then my current gear, if you click on that, it will show you where your current gear is and how much down it is from running the top gear. So you can click on equipped and topped, and that will tell you the difference. So, and if you compare it to this one, it would be a marginal 384 HPS down, but a pretty good DPS increase. So I will have to take a look at that and see. But if you have any questions, as always, leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, deflect, Firm but Fair Gaming. We'll see you in the next video.